Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee, and on this channel I like to do a little bit of home cooking, a little bit of dehydrating, and a little bit of canning. I like to do a little bit of everything. So if you like that kind of content, keep on watching. In fact, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. Like my video so it can reach more people. Leave a comment so I know that you're watching. With that in mind, today we're making spaghetti and meatballs. And my husband said that this was one of the best spaghetti and meatball meals that he's had. I'm going to show you how I made it today. I did something that I normally would never do. So keep on watching so you can find out what that is. Let's get cooking. Tonight for dinner, I'm making spaghetti and meatballs. In my bowl here, I have 2 pounds of 80-20, half beef, half pork. It came mixed like that. 1 egg, about a half a cup of breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of garlic. I have some Italian seasoning, salt, crushed red pepper, garlic powder, and some paprika. So and parsley that we dehydrated. So I'm gonna get this all mixed up and make my meatballs. I also have some Parmesan and Romano cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and grate and I'll just put a couple tablespoons of each one into my meat. All right, I added a couple tablespoons of Parmesan and Romano cheese over here on this side. I'm just gonna get everything mixed together, make my meatballs, and throw it in my saute skillet so I can get them browned. And then I'm gonna add my tomato sauce. I bought this sauce at Grocery Outlet. It was $8. I would never spend this much money on a jar of marinara sauce, but I was just curious as to what all the hype was. So I broke down and picked this up, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and we'll see if it's worth the $8. Have you guys ever tried Rao's? Is that how you say it? Marinara sauce? If you do, or if you have, let me know in the comment section. What did you think? Was it worth all the hype and the money, or is it a pass for you? I have my meatballs in a skillet. I'm gonna brown them on all sides and then add my tomato sauce. Here's a tip for you. If you are unable to unscrew your lid because it's too hard, go ahead and bang it a couple times upside down on a cutting board. We're gonna add this to our meatballs. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to dilute it, and I wanna get every last drop of this marinara sauce. I added about a 1/4 cup of water to my jar. And now we're just gonna kind of give this a stir. Don't want to break up. The meatballs are still pretty delicate because they're not cooked all the way. I just want to slow cook these in the tomato sauce for a little while I'm waiting for Amato to get off work. Make sure your meatballs are as coated in the tomato sauce as you can get them. I'm adding 2 cubes of sofrito that I made a while back and just froze in a mold. Perfect for this kind of application. If they were thawed out, had I thought about it earlier, I just was like, oh, I should just use some sofrito. But if I had it thawed out, I would have mixed some of that sofrito in with my beef to make my meatballs taste even better. So we're just gonna let this cook on low for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes until the meatballs are nice and tender. And then we will get our pasta started. So I just tucked the sofrito into the sauce so it can melt, and then I will give it a little stir in a little bit. I also added about another 1/4 cup of Romano and Parmesan cheese combined. I also added some Italian seasoning, maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon. I added the rest of my dehydrated parsley. I am officially out, so probably gonna have another project on the way here pretty soon. Doesn't that just look so delicious? I can't wait for dinner tonight. I also have a package of this Bisquick buttermilk biscuit mix. So I'm gonna whip up some of these. It makes 6 biscuits. That should be enough for dinner tonight, and maybe a biscuit and some jam tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna get these mixed up. You only need water. Add the water to the mix. And we're gonna mix this to combine, and I'm just going to use the drop method, using 2 spoons onto the cookie sheet. I decided just to make 4 biscuits, otherwise they were gonna be super small. I'm gonna pop these in a 450-degree oven and bake for 8 to 11 minutes until golden brown on top. Okay, my biscuits are done, and I'm going to just brush them with a little bit of melted butter. I added a tiny bit of salt and some garlic, so I'm just gonna go over my biscuits to give them a little bit more flavor. And I sprinkled each one with a little bit of Romano cheese. All right, and here are our biscuits. I just topped each one with a little shaving of Romano cheese to give them some extra flavor. And these are ready to go. I can't wait to dig in. In my pot, I have some boiling water. I wasn't able to find any spaghetti, but I do have some angel hair pasta. So I'm gonna put in enough pasta just for my husband and I to have dinner tonight and for him to have lunch tomorrow. And excuse the noise, but I'm gonna turn on my little fan above my microwave because, well, look at all that steam. I used about 1/3 of the box. I cut my pasta in half. You don't have to if you want long pasta. It's just easier to eat this way. We're gonna cook them till al dente and then run them under some cold water to stop the cooking process, and then it'll be time to eat. All right, so we have our bowl of angel hair pasta and our meatballs topped with more Romano cheese. Our biscuits that we made, that's also topped with some melted butter and garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and more Romano cheese. And we're gonna go ahead and dig in. Bon appetit, everybody. I really am glad that I didn't overcook those noodles. They would have just been so soggy and unpleasing. So I definitely recommend that if you're working with angel hair pasta to cook your pasta a couple minutes less than suggested, just to make sure that they don't get soggy, especially if you're gonna let them sit for a little while. Let's taste our biscuit. The top and bottom have a really nice crust, so when you bite into it, it's a little bit crispy, and then your biscuit is nice and soft on the inside. If you want to make your biscuit even richer, instead of using water, you can also use milk or half and half, or go crazy and even use heavy cream. All right, well, I'm gonna enjoy dinner. Y'all have a great evening. Bon appetit.